What do you do when you have a leader that's serving under you and they are posting inappropriate, ungodly social media posts? What do you do? Well, stick around. I'm going to answer this question for you. Hello, my name is Pastor Ron Gale. I used to be a youth pastor that turned into an executive pastor and turned into a kids pastor. And you know what? I love it. And now I'm here to invest in you. And we're going to answer this question. It was posted by someone on a social media, and they asked, what do you do when one volunteer is posting inappropriate, ungodly things on social media? What do you do? This is a very good question, and I want to help. So for me, this question is about voluntary agreement as well as a leadership agreement. Now, what are the difference? Voluntary agreement means I voluntarily agree to honor both your spoken rules and your unspoken rules. Voluntarily, I'm there. Boom! The problem with voluntary agreement is, well, they don't have to actually agree. Yeah. And then I gotta... And then you have leadership agreement. Leadership agreement is when you say, hey, boom, sign this sheet of paper. And they're like, ka-chow, bam, and they sign it, right? Now they are contractually obligated to honor whatever is expected of them. And your leadership agreement highlights everything that you expect from them as one of your leaders. And if you do not have one of these, it is a contingency on how you would respond to this question. And if you have one of these, it is now a new contingency on how you would respond to one of these leaders. So, what do you do if you do not have a leadership agreement? That's a great question. You need to get one. That's right. You need a leadership agreement, a leadership contract, a leadership covenant. Doesn't matter what you call it. You need a form, a line, a system that says, hey, this is how we roll. This is the expectation, and we will inspect it. But Pastor Ron, they're volunteers. They're not even paid. They still need to know what you expect of them on site as well as off site. And we'll talk more about that in a hot minute. But Pastor Ron, I don't have one of these. How do I get one? Well, that's also a very good question. You can get one by drawing it up yourself. Not very hard. Just come up in your mind what you think an appropriate leader should look like for your department and actually make written rules. They should do this. They should do this. They should do this. But definitely not that. And when it comes to social media, it's got to be godly. You can also hit up one of your other pastor friends and be like, hey, do you have one of those things? Can you hook a brother up? You know what I'm saying? Hook me up, son. And you could also just email me. You can email me by clicking the link that goes to the link on my profile page. And there are also websites that provide this information for free. So go ahead, Google that, look for it, use it. So let's go into the next part. You do have a leadership agreement, and your leader is in violation. How do you approach this? What do you do? All right, let's go into this. You ready? Number one is identify if this particular situation is reversible or not. Right? Because if they made a small mistake, it's reversible. It's something you can mentor them through. And that's one of the benefits of being a leader in ministry, is that we are not in it for the program, we are in it for the people. And the most valuable person in your leadership are those that are on your team. You're investing in them for a reason. And if this is anything, this is an opportunity for you to get to know their heart, know what they're dealing with in life, and guide them to success as they live a life for Christ. If this issue was really, really big, like, oh man, they talked about how they murdered somebody on social media, and there's pictures to prove it. Well, we've got a whole different problem, and it's too big for even you and I to deal with. So we need to call somebody, right? The second thing we need to do is add this topic to our next meeting. next one-on-one meeting, it needs to be one of the top topics. But what if we don't have a regular meeting? Schedule one. Go ahead and set up a meeting. Say, can we have a meeting? Can we talk ministry? Can we talk shop? Can we blah, blah, blah? Can we meet? You're not going to want to do this over social media. You're not going to want to do this over an email. You're not going to even want to do this over a text. You're going to want to meet one-on-one. And let's talk about why. Why is number 3. Hitting all the visuals. All the visuals. Now, there are 3 visuals you're going to be looking for. The first is you're going to visually show them what is wrong. If they cannot see what is wrong, you are not visually showing them. You're going to print out the social media post, show it to them, and say, I ran across this. This is a problem for us. This is a problem for me. This is a problem. And you're going to be very clear about the words you use. Visually show, it is a problem. I don't like it. I don't want it. Then you need to visually bring up your actual contract and say, this is what you agreed to. This is your signature, right? And you show them their signature. Pre-highlight it in yellow, orange, green, blue, rainbow, right? You highlight visually. Do you remember how we agreed that on social media we would do things in a Christ-like way, that we would show fruits of the Spirit in all areas of our life? And this is your signature, right? So now you visually showed them the problem. You visually and vocally told them how you don't like it. And now you're visually showing them how there was an agreement that exists that they have signed. It's all visual. And now you're going to bring out another item. You're going to bring out what we call a corrective action form. And this is a visual correction. And it spells out, this was the problem, this is what I don't like, this is where we've stated it, and now to correct this problem, we want you to do A, B, and C by this date. 1 month from now, I'm going to be reviewing your regular social media post, and if we don't see an improvement, here's the results. It needs to be visually written out. We expect this, and if we don't see it, this will be the results. Visually written out. They need to know exactly what you are expecting of them so that you can pull a trigger when it's time to pull a trigger. Now, some leaders are going to be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. This is where you now need to begin using your negotiation skills and your people skills to kind of guide the next step based on what you want or don't want, because their heart and their character are going to be revealed during this time, and you will have to make decisions based on where their future is with your organization. On the other hand, they might be like, oh, wow, I am so sorry. I am repetitive. You're right. I'm working on this. Will you help me? And then this is the opportunity. This is why we're doing this. We're doing this to lead you into success. Lead you. You're my leader. I want you to succeed, because if you succeed, I succeed. And if we succeed, we all succeed. That needs to be the heart of your time with your leaders. And you're going to take this form and they're going to sign it. And guess what? The last thing you do is you follow up. That's right, follow up when the time has come. And I've looked at the expectations. And I have seen and not seen. It is clear what we have found. And you know what we found? Things are good. You have honored the process. No more corrective action. Let's go about doing ministry together and having fun. Or the worst case scenario is, oh man, you know what, Bob? I've showed you what the problem was. I've showed you how this is a problem for me. I've even showed you how we already agreed to this. And I've showed you the expectation, the correction that we want. And you know what? I've been watching. Oh, here is a new post dated on this day, just yesterday, and how it is just as inappropriate as the first. I'm sorry. You leave me no choice. I am now forced to terminate our agreement, to terminate our relationship, to terminate your involvement with our program. Here's what you want from this. You want the ball to be in their court. You want them to make the decisions. You want them to be the adult and for them to rise up to the occasion. Yes, you're going to lead them. Yes, you're going to guide them. But you're also going to make inspections of your expectations. Because if you do not inspect what you expect, you're not going to get it. It's just a simple psychology. People do what's inspected of them, not what's expected of them. So you're going to follow through. Follow through. And if they choose to be a joker during this time, that's on them. You've given them the high road option. You've given them the opportunity to be redeemed. You've given them the benefit of the doubt. But when they choose to be a joker, even till the end, that's on them. And you've got to eliminate all excuses from your end. And you do that by showing them everything visually. Here's A, here's B, here's C. You've left me with no option. I now have to terminate our relationship. So I hope this helps you when you're dealing with your next social media flubloon, right? And I hope I can answer more questions like this. If you have a question of your own, go ahead and type that in the comment. I would love to hear all about it and maybe do it in a future post. Until next time, you guys are awesome. I'm committed to your success. Peace out.